Hello, I'm Tom Watts with the BBC News. The Venezuelan government and the opposition have signed a preliminary agreement, a major breakthrough after years of failed attempts to resolve political deadlock. At talks in Mexico, they issued a joint statement requesting that billions of dollars frozen abroad be gradually released to help fund health, education and food aid programs. The resources were blocked by foreign banks over alleged irregularities in the 2018 elections. The breakthrough was announced by Dag Nylander of the Norwegian Centre for Conflict Resolution, which is mediating the talks.
The
parties have agreed to make all the necessary arrangements with the appropriate national and foreign, public and private authorities and institutions to obtain the legitimate funds of the Republic that are frozen in the international financial system so as to achieve the objectives set forth.
The United States has described it as a step in the right direction. The Venezuelan opposition is calling for free elections, while President Nicolas Maduro is seeking full recognition from the US and European countries. Violent protests that brought Bolivia's main farming region to a halt have come to an end after 36 days. The government estimates the protests have cost Bolivia $1 billion. Leonardo Rocha reports.
Regional leaders in Santa Cruz, an opposition stronghold, said they'd agreed to lift roadblocks after the lower house of the Bolivian Congress passed legislation that will bring forward the national census to 2024. The opposition argues that a new census will show that the region deserves more seats in Congress and more government funds, because the population there has grown faster than in other parts of the country. Supporters of the left-wing president, Luis Arce, said the unrest was aimed at unsettling his government.
Rescue teams are working through the night on the Italian island of Ischia, which was hit by severe mudslides on Saturday. One person is confirmed dead and 11 people are reported missing. Mud and debris swept through the hillside town of Casamicciola following torrential rain the previous night. Mark Lowen reports from Naples.
The skies have cleared over this part of Italy, aiding rescue teams. It's hoped access to the island from here in Naples will improve, with ferries resuming, bringing help to clear the mountains of mud that have buried buildings and battered vehicles, hurling some into the sea. Several people are still reported missing, and the fear is that as more areas are cleared of earth and debris, the numbers of victims could rise.
Kim Jong-un says North Korea's ultimate goal is to have the world's most powerful nuclear force. State media carried the North Korean leader's remarks as he promoted military officials and scientists involved in the test launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile earlier this month. The missile itself was awarded the title of National Hero. This is the World News from the BBC. The former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has announced that his party will withdraw from elected assemblies, accusing the country's political system of being corrupt. Addressing a rally in Rawalpindi, Mr Khan said he would consult fellow party leaders before announcing a date for mass resignations by their lawmakers. But government ministers dismissed the move as a face-saving stunt after the rally failed to attract expected crowds. The Electoral Commission in Equatorial Guinea says Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo, the world's longest-serving president, has been re-elected for a sixth term. It says he won 94.9% of the votes cast. Our Africa regional editor Will Ross reports.
You wouldn't call it a nail-biter unless you were waiting on the edge of your seat to find out if Teodoro Nguema Obiang Mbasogo could beat his 2016 total of 93.5% of the votes. Well, he did it. Such lofty targets become more achievable, of course, when any genuine opposition is banned. Many will be watching to see if Equatorial Guinea's vice president, Mr Obiang's son, gets handed the top job on a plate. Known for a lavish lifestyle, Teodorin has been sanctioned by several countries following corruption allegations, which he's denied.
NASA's Orion spacecraft has broken the record for the furthest distance travelled from Earth by a vehicle that is habitable by humans. This test flight, which doesn't have any crew on board, is currently almost 406,000 kilometres from Earth. That's almost 6,000 kilometres beyond the previous record. And Argentina have beaten Mexico 2-0 in the Men's Football World Cup, keeping alive their hopes of reaching the knockout stages in Qatar. The Argentine captain Lionel Messi and Enzo Fernandez were the scorers. Earlier, France became the first team to qualify for the next round, beating Denmark 2-1. BBC News.